Welcome, Game Chasers everywhere, to episode 8 of the Collecting Confidant with your host, GunstarHero. Now, before we get into it, first of all, a quick thank you to all the new subscribers and all the people engaging in the comments. Love you all, and thank you for giving me the confidence to keep going with this, and I hope you enjoy all the future videos and all the great content to come. Let's get into it. We got a real awesome doozy this week. We're talking about Trek to Yomi, which is coming from Devolver Digital, published, of course, by one of my favorite publishers, and is being developed by Leonard Menchiari in association with Flying Wild Hog, who's responsible for the Shadow Warrior series, which we covered a few episodes prior. And this one is coming to us physically via www.specialreservegames.com. It is now open for pre-order as of last Thursday, May the 5th, which of course was the game's release date. And that is already available digitally on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and of course, for all you lucky Game Pass subscribers, you get to play this right now for free if you are a subscriber. And try it out, see if you think that getting the physical version is in the cards. So now, let's get into the game, and we'll talk about the physical edition in a moment. First of all, a bit of background. Now, this game started out as a bit of an experiment. Leonard Menchiari, who is the game's primary developer, was messing around with black and white visuals using Unreal Engine, and when he was doing this, he was also kind of inspired by the films of Akira Kurosawa, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, responsible for all-time classics like Yojimbo, Ran, Rashomon, which would later go on to inspire Pulp Fiction, and of course the godly Seven Samurai from 1954, which would go on to inspire The Magnificent Seven, and of course, my filmmaking career. So, if you've never seen Akira Kurosawa, please do yourself a favor and check out some of this goodness. But of course, if you are a fan, you will immediately see his presence in the visuals, which were a direct inspiration. So let's talk about the game and its background and how it was structured. So when Menchiari went to make this game, he wanted to establish it on two pillars, which of course were historical Japan, and this is set in the Edo period of 1603 to about 1867. So you'll see that in the visuals, plus the idea of the Shinto mythology, which is a religion based on the idea that gods are in everything, in every rock, tree, and flower. So what's really cool about this game is you're going to get some visual authenticity in terms of what ancient Japan used to look, well, not so much ancient Japan, but old Japan used to look like. But then, of course, you're going to get a lot of the supernatural to really, rev this game up. Now, from a gameplay perspective, you can obviously see from the visuals that it's like a 2D side-scrolling hack and slash set in like fixed camera vignettes, and these were directly inspired by 1920s and 30s silent films. And there was actually a direct quote from Menchiari where he said that he wanted each scene to be designed to look like a magical moving theater stage rather than a screen. And you can see that, like, every scene looks like a piece of art that you move into and out of, and immediately made me think back to like old school Final Fantasy VII on the PS1, where again, just every scene is breathtakingly beautiful. Such great use of black and white, shadows, silhouettes. This is such a feast to look at. The thing is though, be warned, this is not a very long game. Flying Wild Hog did say that this was designed to be beaten by the average player in about 4 to 6 hours, which is not a bad thing, because I'm going to say this now, this whole modern concept of, well, we have to make the game longer to give you bang for your buck, I think is outlandish. I think that if you can just pace it well, a very short game can be incredibly effective. And I'm looking at you, Journey, as the godfather of that idea that you can take like a 3 to 4 hour game, make it stunning, and come back to it multiple times. And you probably will, because first of all, as you can see, this game has like a kind of a Bushido blade aspect to it, the old game from PS1 where, you could basically kill enemies in one hit. Now, in the normal mode, you'll be able to take a few hits, and there's also a scaled back cinematic mode for those of you looking for maybe less of a challenge and just want to play through the story. But for all you hardcore enthusiasts, once you actually beat this game, you'll be able to unlock a mode where you get one-hit kills for our main character, Hiroki. So let's set the stage for the story as well. So essentially what you are is a young samurai named Hiroki who is after all these bandits and the people responsible for destroying his village, and you're going to be going through all these different vignettes, kind of like a revenge thriller, and it's just excruciatingly bloody. You can hear every gurgle, every sword thrust, plus the soundtrack is utterly incredible. You actually have a real orchestra using historical instruments, again, to give it that authenticity, to just really infuse this game with mood and atmosphere. I just cannot wait to dive into this, and I most likely will be buying the physical copy of this, and I really want to get into what Special Reserve is doing with this and why I like their approach to this particular title. So, as with the majority of their releases, this will be a limited physical print. Now, with no deadline, this one's actually going to have a 5,000 copy limit. So, if you're interested in getting a numbered copy that is signed by the developers with a few extra goodies, you're going to want to get on this right away. But if you're a little cash strapped or maybe kind of on the fence, here's where Special Reserve is doing something really cool. They're also going to release an unnumbered single with a TBA, a to be announced deadline. We don't know when that's going to be, but it's going to be ongoing. So if you're kind of feeling the glut right now, kind of feeling the strain on your wallet of all these crazy releases coming out, you can spend a bit of time, wait it out, and probably still pick up a nice PS5 physical version of this with an instruction manual. The numbered version is $49.99 USD, and then the regular unnumbered version goes for $34.99. So again, very fair prices. I'm down with it. This game looks sumptuous. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. If you are a fan of Kurosawa, of like hack and slash, Bushido Blade style action games, I believe there's going to be a lot to love here. This one, again, is coming from SpecialReserveGames.com as of last Thursday, May 5th. 5,000 copies for the numbered release. We don't know how long the unnumbered release is going to be out, but it's probably going to be out for at least a while. You've been watching the 8th episode of The Collecting Confidant with your host, GunstarHero. Thank you again for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, Game Chasers. Peace.